Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for Geeks Who Like Sports, but it is also the beginning of football season, and I am so happy. Until about the second quarter of the Giants game today, I was so happy. But anyway, I'm Ray Carcillo, joined as always by my best buddy in Philadelphia, who is happy it's football season because he actually has a good team this year, Lee Elias. Lee, how are you today, sir?
Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm with you, Ray. I got my Bill Belichick mug here. For those of you not watching, it's a Darth Vader head. Ray, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. A little bit of a role reversal this week. You are super wide awake in the early evening hours of Los Angeles' beautiful weather today, probably. And I am ass tired at the end of my day over in Philadelphia. The kids are asleep. I did have to take a little bit of a wake-up drink, so I'm waking up here. But I am excited to be here with you on Football Sunday, not Baseball Sunday, Football Sunday. I'm actually excited about baseball because football is back. We are heading into the greatest sports time of the year. I'm excited to be talking about it with you today.
Yes, as we get ready for October, which, of course, October would be the heart of the football season, baseball playoffs, the beginning of hockey, the beginning of basketball. Truly, it is a great time of year. Also mentioning, I have my Geeks Who Like Sports mug that we grabbed up at PAX. You have your Geeks Who Like Sports t-shirt, also from PAX. So this is fantastic. And yes, this is true. This is a bit of a reversal because, for those of you who don't know, I am very much a night owl. So I am reborn. I am super energized now because I've been up for several hours.
Hey, don't get too energized. People are going to start saying, oh, you should record this at night every week because Ray is so much more awake. You know, you need me to be the bad guy. You want me to be the bad guy. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I could probably handle the truth.
Yeah, you probably could. Jack Nicholson, we salute you. Original Joker from the movies.
Yes, original Joker, yes.
I had to tie it in somehow, yeah.
Yes, no, of course. But even that's the thing, though, Lee, is that even when you're tired, you're still pretty good. The problem is that when I'm tired, as you described it to me when we were at PAX, is that I was like primordial ooze, slithering out of bed.
Yeah, let me do my quick impression of that. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Geeks That Like Sleep. I'm Ray Carcillo. Yeah, nobody wants to listen to that. That's why I'm there, to bring it back up. But I appreciate the compliment. Yes. I'm excited about this episode, our first episode back from PAX, which was a phenomenal week. The people of Seattle, the people of PAX treated us phenomenally. And I was proud to say that that we were officially associated with that event, and hoping it's not the last time we'll be there.
Yes, PAX was a tremendous occasion for us. Of course, it's one of the bigger fan game events in the country. We had a great panel. Duncan Stanley, Gordon Bellamy, Mel Kirk joined us on our panel. We saw some great games. We met some great people. It was truly for me. It was my first time back there in 4 years. Lee, this was your first time there. Period. Lee, I want to as somebody as a first timer, what did you think as the event as a whole?
Yeah, I was really blown away by the community aspect of it. I mean, so keeping in mind, too, that the gaming world just came under fire, if you will, for violence in games again. It's funny when you're there because none of these people would hurt anybody. The other thing, too, is this was the most communal crowd of diversity I've ever seen. In every sense of the word diverse. There were people there from every sector of society, and everyone was welcome, and everyone was smiling. And very kind and just very willing to, even if it wasn't their thing, they were just willing to kind of go along with it. So I was impressed with the community aspect of it. I wasn't expecting that. I was also impressed with the size of it. All right. So, I've been to, I've been to Star Wars Celebration. I've been to plenty of things. I mean, we couldn't move. I mean, there's that many people there. I mean, it was one of those things I knew how powerful the gaming world was, but I mean, there was tens of thousands of people there every day. And it was just incredible. So that was what took me away. And then obviously the stuff that was there. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single game that was there, but the power of that convention, if you want to call it that, was just unbelievable to me. That's what I took away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great show. I mean, it was great to see that PAX was still running strong.
After a lot of criticism that it wasn't, too. That's the other thing. I was reading a lot of articles that, it's dying. I'm like, this was not a dying thing. This was I couldn't move. Yeah, we had to skip the line. We had special guest passes, so we get to skip the line. We saw the line. It was wrapped around the building. I mean, so this was not small in any sense of the word. To the point that I was like, I remember we were talking like, I can't believe we're here. Like, I can't believe we're on a panel here. I got to say to this, Ray, before I forget, you did a phenomenal job leading that panel. Slightly under the weather, no one would know that by being there. Both of us were, but you did a phenomenal job. And for those of you listening, Ray has been in that world for a long time. So for him to be able to host a panel at PAX is really a big deal. And he did exactly as you would expect. He nailed it. We had a good time. The people were laughing. So just, another milestone for our friendship and for you professionally, but it was a great time. And I'm glad we did it. Yes, and we caught a ton of Pokemon out there. I got so many Magikarps out there. Ray, just so you know, I only need 94 more Magikarp, and I got myself a nice evolution to happen. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
Yeah. Oh man, you almost got that Gyarados. You're almost there, Lee. Oh, man, but it was a great time. Again, thank you so much for the compliment. It was
you deserve it. It was fun for me to watch you in that environment. I mean that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, to host a panel, and it was just great to be back there and to play a lot of great games. We played Super Meat Boy Forever. We played Windjammers 2. I got to play Disintegration, which is the new first-person shooter from the guys who made the original Halo. I've got to go hands-on with that. That looked that played phenomenal. It's the cross between first-person shooter and like real-time strategy or real-time tactics. And when you say that, like for those who know those genres, you're like, how the heck does that work? It doesn't on paper, but it does in this game. Yeah. It works. They found a way to make it work really, really well, and it's very, very smooth and was a lot of fun. Yeah, so, I mean, it was just a great show. We had great weather for the most part while we were there. It only rained once, which is like a record for Seattle. But, yeah, absolutely a tremendous show overall. And there was a lot of, it was been a big week for games in general. Yeah. Because right after PAX, Nintendo was like, hey, guess what? We've got a lot of announcements that you guys are going to be really interested in.
It broke the gaming world.
Yeah, I believe it was Wednesday they had what they call their Nintendo Direct, which is basically their live stream, kind of like their press conferences that they do. And they just were like, oh, you want to know what we're coming out with in the next, 6 months? Okay, sure, here you go. Overwatch is coming to the Switch in the middle of October. Obviously, we got more stuff from Luigi's Mansion 3 and Link's Awakening. Dragon's Quest 11, the definitive edition. We've got a Deadly Premonition remake, plus Deadly Premonition 2. This is a cult game that came out 10 years ago, so the fact that that's getting a sequel, people are thrilled about. Doom 64 is getting ported. We're getting Super Nintendo games via Nintendo Online.
Yeah. The library of SNES games, the library of it is amazing what's coming out. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, for sure. And of course, one that I freaked out over, and I think that when I told you about it, I think you freaked out a little bit over too, Lee, is Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is coming to the Switch. It is a full re-release of the single-player experience. This is one of my favorite all-time Star Wars games, played on the PC years ago. I think it was in high school when it came out. Lee, the Nintendo is just like, we know that you love nostalgia. We are going to corner the nostalgia market, and we're going to give you all of your old favorite games like they're new again.
I love when companies triple down on things they know that are working. Jedi Knight 2, little nostalgia for you, it was the first game I was ever able to play online against other people. Now, I know this is only the single-player mode. Don't worry, I love the game too. But you want to talk about nostalgia. First time I was ever... I'm trying to explain this. If you're a younger listener, that idea of playing against other people that were not with you at that time was unheard of. It was unheard of. And I remember playing this with really not that much lag. And we'd have lightsaber battles, and it was an arena. I mean, this is kind of the original. This was before N64, so this is before GoldenEye. You know what I mean?
I think it is after GoldenEye, but again, it's the first. You're doing it online, right? It was imagine if GoldenEye was GoldenEye was.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So you're right. I'm mixing it up. It was around that time for sure, but it was the first time I was ever doing it on the internet. And I remember fighting other people, and I just enthralled by it that I was fighting other people in the Star Wars universe, and that was amazing to me. And not to mention, the game itself is unbelievable. So that was exciting for me to see something like that. And not to mention that they're expanding the library. Overwatch is a big deal. The SNES, I know I can't say that tonight. Library is a big deal. And they're really making the Switch something special now. It's evolving, and I love it. And then Nintendo always they're always amazing at coming back from the brink. I mean, like, it's amazing what they're able to do. And, like, I just love it. I love the excitement about it. Just so you guys, so those of you listening, Ray's not kidding. I started getting a play-by-play on my phone out of nowhere. And then it started in just lowercase letters, and by the end it was all capital letters with exclamation points. And like, Ray knows the way to my geek soul, so he's like, "The Jedi Knight 2 is coming back to the Switch." I stood up, and I was actually really excited about that. And I think this is just the beginning. I mean, they're going to really start expanding here soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. And obviously, the new Switch is coming out, which is just a handheld model.
Yes.
So they're figuring this out as they go along. But I mean, hey, way to go, Nintendo, man! Like, this is good. I'm actually looking forward now. The Doom 64 remake. I'm starting to wonder when they're going to give me Ocarina of Time again.
We're kind of due for that again too.
I'll buy that in a heartbeat. I would love to play that game again. Don't need Majora's Mask, but I'll take Ocarina of Time. And then how far are we, Ray, from a 64 library coming out? There's a lot of 64 games I'd love to play again. Why haven't we seen GoldenEye again?
Actually, I think that's what will probably happen next, right? So, like, we had at the beginning of the year, we had the NES library. Now we have the Super Nintendo librry. 64 has got to be next.
And that's
when you might get Ocarina.
Maybe we'll get Virtual Boy games too. I hope not. But
yeah, no.
no, but I don't know if there's some licensing behind GoldenEye. I'd love to play that game again.
Yeah,
there is a lot of 64 games I'd really like to play again, especially with my son. Like, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't care about graphics right now. He doesn't care about that, But I mean, I'll name on another episode, like in a year from now when they do this. But I would love to see some more N64 games come out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's gonna happen. I mean, I think that's the play, right? Like, I mean, but Nintendo knows. I mean, that's why they're redoing Link's Awakening, right? Like, Link's Awakening is one of the most beloved Legend of Zelda games, of course, from the original Game Boy that then got a DX version on the Game Boy Advance. Now it's being remade again here for the Switch, completely brand new graphics. I mean, not even remastered, completely remade from the ground up.
Great story, just a phenomenal story in Hyrule, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nintendo knows. They're like, look, if this works, people love this stuff. Why? We're still going to test the waters with new things and still push the boundaries, but we can do it a lot easier if we set ourselves up with a foundation of banking on what we know already works.
Well, it's no different than what they're doing in movies right now. I mean, we're the buying age, that 30 to 45 age range. They know we want to play these games again. We're going to tell them to our kids. I mean, like, this is gaming grown up. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you're starting to hit this area now where, like, it's gaming grown up. With parents are playing games with their kids. It's happening finally. You know what I mean? Like on a larger scale. It's not Pong.
Yeah.
It's like, it's these great games from our past. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. This is the time to, like you said, this is a perfect time too, because if you have young children, they're not going to care about graphics because they're not going to know about technology. They're only going to know what you expose them to. And so if you can actually, I know friends who are using this as the NES and now the SNES and the N64 to kind of have their kids grow up, obviously much more quickly than we did, because we had to wait 5 or 6 years between console generations, but so they can learn and grow with the gaming like we did, but obviously at a faster rate to get caught up to where we are now.
Well, and here's what's cool about it. This is really no different than the debate of what order do you show Star Wars in. You don't show them 1, 2, and 3. You show them 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
Hopefully you're doing that.
Yes, if you're smart, you're doing that.
Yeah. I know people that have seen them in numerical order, and it's they say weird things to me, like, yeah, well, I mean, the first 3 are better than I was like, what?
No.
They're like, yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Like, no, I mean, it's way better graphics. And I was like, what about the writing and the storyline and the music? Well, it happened.
Who cares about that, right? Yeah.
I know, right?
This is why you don't start your kids off on PS4 and Xbox One. You start them off on Nintendo.
Exactly.
And you work your way up to it.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's the same. It's like you said, Lee, it's the same concept. But speaking of movies, the buzz. Another thing is we're going through the geek stuff, folks, because I think we're going to spend a lot of time on football today. The Joker movie trailer came out. And
the second trailer. We gotta make sure to say that.
Well, the second trailer. I mean, we're less than a month away now from its full release in theaters.
Yep.
It's getting all kinds of awards at the big film festivals. I don't know if it was Cannes or whatever it was, but it's getting all the big awards. It's got tons of Oscar buzz already around it. Could Joker be the comic book movie that finally, ultimately, truly legitimizes comic book movies to the larger cinematic audience, who don't just be like, oh, it's just a comic book movie?
Yeah, it might be time. So a few notes on this movie. One is I've heard that Joaquin Phoenix, who's playing the Joker, has had some heavy rehabilitation after this movie to kind of get himself back to normal, which is, I hate to say this, but anytime you're dealing with the Joker, that's kind of what you want to hear.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Heath Ledger, is that's why he started to medicate, because he had gone to such a dark and crazy place.
Exactly. So I do appreciate the dedication on the actor's part to do that. Two is obviously the trailers look phenomenal. I mean, you can see that this is exactly the type of twisted person you want to play the Joker, excuse me. I kind of hand in hand. There might have been a Freudian slip. Is it rated R? I believe it's rated R, correct?
I think it's rated R, yeah.
Okay, so like that's another thing that's good. I was reading an article today from the director and the producer, and they made a really great point. Because, the question's kind of like, well, what separates this Joker from other Jokers? And they said something very intriguing to me, Ray. They said that this isn't a Joker that wants to watch the world burn. Like, that's kind of what made Ledger's Joker and Nicholson's Joker as well. We won't talk about the other cinematic Joker. But
there is no other cinematic Joker. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fair. Thank you. Yeah. There's still a Harley Quinn, but that's another story too. Birds of Prey trailer, you can find that out. Another episode.
It's all right.
We'll see where that goes. But this is what they said, and I found this really intriguing. They said he's not after watching the world burn. He's more looking for his place in the world. And I love that because it gives us a completely different version of him. That they said that this Joker is very lost at the beginning of the film, and he finds himself. He's not just out there to end the world, which means he's going to have a pretty deep and dark character development. And here's the thing. That's something that the Joker has actually never had. I don't think we talk about that ever. The Joker never seems to have an origin story. The closest thing we have is Jack Napier in the 89 Batman. And that's not really an origin story, yeah.
And we have The Killing Joke. We do have Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, which is the closest...
that was animated, though. Are you talking about comics?
I'm talking about comics, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking cinematically. I'm sorry.
Just in terms of cinema, the closest we have is 89.
I apologize. Yeah, no, for those of you who listen, the comic books have dived into this, and Ray is 100% right. I'm talking just cinematically. And I think on a large scale, most people just don't know the Joker's origin story. And this is very much an origin story, which I have to say is real gutsy, because one of the things that makes the Joker so great is that he doesn't have an origin story in most of these movies. He's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's why Heath Ledger literally told three different people 3 different reasons why he had those scars.
Yeah, you just don't know, right? Yeah. So and I've had discussions of I didn't need to know, and that's one of the things that makes cinematic Joker so great. But the previous movies kind of relied on Batman creating the Joker, or he's a result of Batman, and this movie is taking a very different approach where Batman clearly doesn't exist yet. Obviously his father does. Okay, in this movie, that's already been confirmed.
Thomas Wayne.
Yes, and we believe we've seen Bruce as a young boy in the movie. I mean, probably guaranteed at this point. But the point is this: it's a different approach to the Joker. Ray, I believe you said it too. It looks like a revenge flick, which is awesome, right? In the newest trailer, you really can start to see the transformation of the Joker character as an insecure person to a very, very confident Joker towards the end of the trailer, without telling you anything. It was scary to me. It was scary to me to see him go from kind of that just like babbling guy who has a laughing disease. Actually, I believe that's the way they're doing it. And at the end, if you watch this trailer, like he scared me. I was like, wow, man, this is gonna be freaking awesome, right?
Yeah.
And I also
when he tells De Niro and Mark Maron, he's like, can you guys introduce me as Joker?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this looks good. So I hope I'm not disappointed. I hope this is the movie that kind of puts DC back on track. I can't confirm this at all. I'm hoping this is going to be the new Batman universe. And I think if it is, they're doing it right. Batman, this looks like a horror film, a thriller horror film, okay? And that is the world Batman should live in. Okay? That is always the way. So I'm hoping that the Pattinson Batman is going to exist in this world. Yeah. I hope this isn't just a one-off. Again, can't confirm any of that. I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
it.
it's just
I
it's all
hope that.
speculation
Yeah.
and hope. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. It's the same hope, and I have no idea what they're gonna do. Because there's been reports that this is also just going to be a one-off. But if this is just a one-off, that is yet another in the long line of dumb moves by DC.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then just to go to your second point about Oscar buzz, Hollywood has really fought these movies for a while. Mainly because it's a business thing. They're destroying the independent film, I guess you could say, in major cinema. And here's what I'm going to say. There's definitely a place for films that are not superhero films. I have no problem with that. I'm voting with my dollars. I love the MCU. I love comic book movies, and I want to see them. And I want to feel good when I leave a movie. All right, I don't want to feel horrible. Okay, if I want that, I'll put it on Netflix. Okay, that's the way it's going, guys. Deal with it. Okay, but here's the thing: is like I said, a lot of these comic book films have deserved rewards, and they get shunned or they get pushed aside. And that's my opinion. You can tell me I'm wrong, but I'll give you an example. I thought Infinity War was a very, very good film. It was a great film, and it didn't get any recognition from Hollywood. None.
Especially in the special effects front. That's the thing that bothers me the most. Like, you want to say, well, the actors are I'll give you the acting maybe, but like from special effects and costumes and makeup and all that and music, I mean, like,
give me a break. Yeah. This is what cinema is. So anyway, sorry, not Ledger.
Phoenix,
the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is getting a ton of Oscar buzz, as he probably should. I mean, that is a very complex character. We've always said this before. Batman is not a complex character. Everybody wants you want him to be, but he's not. Okay, he's not. The Joker is complex, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to take this. And hopefully figure out that universe. And as we do on the show a lot, we should thank Deadpool for showing that R-rated movies can happen and they can make an impact. Those of you listening, a lot of problem with superhero films is they just don't think you can make them rated R, and they can work. Yeah. And Deadpool proved them wrong. And Blade. I don't want to knock Blade. Blade definitely did this as well.
Yeah, we can't forget that either. Yeah.
Yeah. So excited for it. It's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun October on all fronts. I'm just going to toss you that segue.
Yeah.
All right? You know what I mean? But, actually...
Well, I'll make the catch.
Yeah, wait. Here's the thing. Make sure we do talk about AB as well.
Yes. Yeah.
We've got a lot... We have to touch on that.
Yeah. We've got a lot of football news, folks. It's obviously today is really the kickoff. As we're speaking... we are recording this during the Patriots and Steelers game because neither one of us cares about either of those teams. If you can call it a
game, it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's 27-3 Pats right now.
and let me say that this is something that I want to put out. I'm going to put out there first before we even get into the individual game results.
Sure. Yeah.
The problem with the first 2 weeks of the NFL season now is that because teams are so conscientious of injury problems, is that this feels like preseason. These first 2 weeks feels like preseason plus. The starters 100%. Are finally playing. They're shaking off the rust. You saw this a ton today. Some teams came out, dominated the first half. Then the teams woke up and came back in the second half. Your Eagles did it. The Cardinals did it against the Lions in a game that ended up in a tie, which we still haven't done away with the freaking tie in football.
That's going to bite someone in the ass at the end of the season. Someone's going to get screwed because of the Lions and the Cardinals. It's going to happen.
The Bills... came back against the Jets because the Jets went same old Jets in the second half, missed an extra point, missed a field goal. The Giants came out, had a good first quarter against the Cowboys. The Cowboys then ran roughshod on the rest of the game.
What about the Jags?
Oh, my goodness, the poor Jags. Well, then the Jags got hurt. All the Jags got hurt, including your boy Nick Foles. Might be out the rest of the year.
Broke his clavicle on a touchdown pass, dude. That's exactly. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Oh my goodness! I mean, the
where
kid
do you
who
want
came
to
in
start?
for him did well, but where
do you want to start, Ray?
And the Browns went completely Cleveland. They lost by 30 after hawking all that trash.
Yeah.
So
a lot of Baker Mayfield commercials today, by the way.
Oh yeah, lots of commercials, and he didn't do nothing against the Titans, nothing. Yeah. But so what I want to say is because this feels like preseason plus. And because most of the NFL played not most of it, but a lot play divisional games, right? Or at least games that'll appear big on the schedule. Patriots versus Steelers. The Steelers aren't going to be this bad the whole rest of the year, right?
Yeah,
but like the fact that they're playing week 1 and they're laying a stinker now because it's preseason plus and they're shaking off the rust. This is a game that could come back to bite them in the butt later on in terms of playoff seeding. Like the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Skins, Bills, Jets, all big divisional games. And what I just don't understand is that why doesn't, if this is the way the NFL is going, why don't the schedule makers do it where these first couple games are the interconference games, right? Yeah. Where you have, like, I mean, the Giants are playing the Bills next week. It should have been Giants Bills week 1, a game that really means
see, they don't
nothing.
want that, right? They want you to watch. You know, you would say, "Oh, I'm going to watch anyway," but
yes, I am going to watch anyway.
You are, but like, here's the thing: they want that big kickoff, right? And that's the thing. You know, and here's the listen. Everything you're saying about preseason plus is true. Nobody wants to get injured, and these guys are coming in rusty. And this is what I'm finding. It takes about a half a game for these guys to get where they need to be, timing wise and physically. So, you know, I'm not going to say we should shorten the preseason because that's not the point. The point of preseason is so these guys can test out players, and I understand that. But
it's a tryout.
It's a little interesting to me the way this is done. I don't think they're going to change anything personally, just because I think people can deal with it. But it's like, look, if you want to talk about, like, it's funny. I was sitting there with my father today watching Eagles Redskins, and the Skins go up 17-0. And I hear people. I'm like, guys, relax. I mean, like, just relax. It's just, you can see we're not clicking yet. As soon as it clicks, we're gonna take these guys.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like I'm saying that after the fact, but if my father was here, he'd tell you, just relax. Wait till the second half. Like, they're not running away with it yet. We just got to get going. Then, Wentz throws a bomb to Deshaun Jackson, touchdown. He throws another bomb to Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, touchdown.
We're gonna hear that a lot this year, I think.
Well, those two were clicking right away. But yeah, I mean, you could see that the Eagles were just a little rusty right there at the beginning. And the Skins knew it and they jumped on it. And then the real Skins showed up and like look at the Jets. The Jets. You guys are the Mets of football. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like unbelievable. If you're a Jets fan, feel free to comment and just let us know. But it's just like it's unbelievable. Like, I have a hard time with teams. I don't want to say fan bases. I have a hard time with teams that are just like so up on themselves. It's like the game hasn't ended yet. Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. The game hasn't ended yet. Okay, it's like I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that gets. And like I said, we don't have to get into all the individuals. There were some big blowouts today. I mean, the Ravens murdered the Dolphins today.
Well, the Dolphins might go 0-16. Honestly.
Sure, 59-10 is embarrassing. Titans Browns 43-13. That's an ass
so much
kicking.
for Odell Beckham, so much for Jarvis Landry, so much for Baker Mayfield.
Well, I'm going to say what you said too. It's week 1.
I know.
I never judge a season on 1 week ever.
Yeah,
okay?
No, of course not. But those guys talked a lot of trash.
Of course they did. They're trying to hype themselves up, and maybe they'll wake themselves up, or they'll just go back to being the Browns, and you know what I mean by that. But there were also some good games today. All right, like the Rams-Panthers game, 30-27. That was a good game. That was actually a back and forth. Those guys looked like they might have been more in mid-season form. Not Todd Gurley, but everybody else. Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs-Jags was the quarterback got hurt right away, 40-26, but that score is probably not indicative of the play. Colts hung in there with the Chargers.
Chiefs and Jags was a better game until Foles went down, and then started to pull away, and
devastating,
a couple of garbage time touchdowns for the Jags.
Yeah, Colts hung in there with the Chargers with new quarterback and everything like that, and they're still recovering from that. Seahawks-Bengals was a 1-point game.
Again, a perfect example of the Bengals jumping out to a huge lead early, and the Seahawks storming back in the second half.
I'll come back to Cowboys-Giants. 49ers beat the Bucks 31-17, and then the Pack obviously last Thursday beat the Bears 10-3 in a really not exciting game to watch.
No, ugly game, very ugly game. Talk about a game full of rusty players. Yeah.
So again, I will say this. We'll talk about Brown in a little bit here with getting moved to the Patriots. We'll finish the football segment with that. I will say about the Eagles and Redskins real quick. Eagles got to form about towards the end of the second quarter. I mean, they really came out in the second half and just showed themselves up. I think they had some like 5 touchdowns there's 4 touchdowns. There's 4 scoring drives in 5 drives. Like 4 out of 5 they scored, and they look great. I mean, they look really good. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I'm expected to do that. But before we move on, and we're going to talk about Cowboys-Giants now. For those of you not watching this, Ray has a Giants hat on, his Giants jersey on. The game is over. They have lost. He wants to talk about this. So I prepared for these things, people. So Before we began the episode, I went downstairs. I got myself a nice bowl of little snacks here, popcorn, some Chex Mix, because I'm going to let Ray go. And I'm like the Michael Jackson meme, the gif of him eating popcorn. So in complete Geeks Who Like Sports fashion here, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ray. And before I do that, I'm going to say it. Here we go.
Well, first off, I should actually thank the Giants because they reminded me that it's not football season quite yet for most of us. It's actually still baseball season. Thank God I had my Yankees because I sure as hell don't have a football team. Holy cow, did you guys look like garbage? Oh my God! You scripted the first 10 plays like every other team in the league did, and then you forgot about the last 45 minutes of the game! What are you doing? What happened? No defense whatsoever. You're running a 3-4, and it was terrible. The linebackers looked slow and weak, and they were out of place. And you traded our best linebacker to Green Bay? Our best linebacker went to Green Bay because you guys were like, oh, we got a 5th-round draft pick. Sure, why not? We have no linebackers! We have none, and we run a 3-4! What are you doing? Oh my God. And then Saquon Barkley. I'm wearing my brand new Saquon Barkley jersey. The Giants are now 1-4 when Barkley doesn't touch the ball more than 15 times. The second play of the game, he broke a 59-yard run. Why are you not running him more? You're playing the Cowboys. Does that mean nothing to you?
Ray, we're going to share that clip and it's going to go viral. This is really good Chex Mix, Ray. Anything else you want to say?
I'm so sick of this team already, and it's only the first game of the year.
Well,
Eli going to Eli, fumbling the ball, throwing the ball into the dirt. The derpy Eli face. And then Daniel Jones, and then the supposed savior comes in the last drive of the game. The kid makes his debut. And Lee, what does he do on the third play of the game? Do you know what he did? He fumbled it! He ran it! And he bumped into the linebacker! And he just dropped the freaking ball! What's the matter with you?
Well, Ray, that was a great recap of the Giants-Cowboys game. And I'm going to look you right in the eye, Ray. And I'm going to say, this is what happens when you sell your soul to the devil for 2 Super Bowls. You deserve this, Ray.
No, nobody
You deserve this, Ray.
Nobody deserves this.
It's
beat
still
the
baseball
Patriots
season.
The Yankees are winning 8-4 right now.
You deserve this for beating the Patriots twice. You got that bullshit catch on that guy's helmet. All right?
I have a picture of that hanging in my living room.
You sold your soul to the devil. This is what you get.
No, it's not true.
You take the damn Yankees, you go win another World Series, and you shut up about the Giants, okay?
That would a World Series would make me feel a lot better. I will say that. At least they'll get me through.
I love how he says it like, no, the World 28 World Series would make me feel great. You stuck-up bastard.
See, folks, for those of you who have been with us from the beginning, this is why me and Lee have been waiting so long for football season. Because we rag on each other so much. The sad thing is I can't rag on them anymore because his Eagles are actually good.
We actually did something. We won. Hey, they were good while I was in college. They just didn't win anything.
You kept losing in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, that was real fun. Bills know what we're doing.
Oh, man. Also, if you haven't, I still have a little bit of the Pax Pox. Otherwise, I probably would be able to go a little bit longer. But
okay.
Man,
I cannot wait to share that.
And I'm
clip
sorry.
with
I hope that audio comes.
Oh, it sounded
through.
great. It sounded really good, actually. Whatever you did to your mic settings this week, we're gonna keep it that way all season, all week, every single week, even the bye week. We're gonna talk about it. I can't wait for that. Oh,
I was optimistic. I said we would go 7-9 this year. Not if we play like this. We're not gonna win. We're gonna win 4 games if we play like this the rest of the year.
It was very bad. Even I could say that. Cowboys fans are happy. Cowboys fans are really happy. They got Zeke back. They won the game.
They had all their weapons clicking. I mean, even that
Prescott
though,
looked great.
Dak threw a couple of ducks that like any other team would have picked off or batted away. For the Cowboys today, they were touchdowns. They were touchdowns because they were playing the Giants, who only for some reason, I don't know, it looked like they had 4 guys on defense the whole freaking game.
Oh, this is just wonderful for me to watch. I want you to listen, man. I'm going to tell you this as your friend.
Yes,
I feel for you. Okay, as a football fan. Now let me rephrase that. As an Eagles fan,
Screw you.
No, you don't get to say that anymore. Okay, you do get to say that. You do get to say that. Listen, let's just talk. Can we switch gears for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, just so you guys know, it is 10:38 Eastern, September 8th, 2019. The Patriots are winning 30-3 over the Pittsburgh Steelers right now in the start of the fourth quarter, literally as I said that, without their actual best receiver right now, and Antonio Brown. I don't think he's playing tonight, right? I doubt that.
No,
he's
he shouldn't be playing today. No,
I
think he just got to New England.
There's a lot of talk. We have to talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we can get Ray off the Giants before I bring it up again in a very stabbing way later in the episode, possible. I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you. Actually, can you take the Yankees hat off now?
No.
Okay.
I need this.
Is that what a crown feels like? Heavy is the head that wears the crown?
Heavy is the head that wears the Yankees cap.
All right. Hey, listen, if it brings any solace, Jets fans still somehow are optimistic.
You know what? It does make me feel good that at least I'm not a Jets fan, which is we are bad now, but the Jets have for the past 50 years been a terrible, pathetic excuse for a franchise.
Yeah, here's the thing about the Jets. This is going to create some criticism before I get into Antonio Brown. This is what I don't get about the Jets fan base, and yeah, I know my fan base in Philadelphia. It just gets the worst. It's just the worst criticism, and it's all deserved. I'll tell you that. Eagles fans, not Philly fans. Eagles fans are rough. We beat up one of our basketball players today. Did you hear about this?
No.
One of the Sixers wore a Skins jersey to the game and got in a fight with a fan.
Oh, God.
I love Philadelphia. Anyway, passion.
Yeah.
It happened. Look it up. I'm really not kidding. It happened today. One of the Sixers got in a fight with an Eagles fan today.
Yeah. What was big out here was Kawhi Leonard's sister killed somebody today.
Oh. Well,
yeah, new LA Clipper Kawhi Leonard, his sister killed somebody at one of the casinos out here. So that was
like with a gun. Like what?
No, she beat her to death. She's accused of beating
someone to death.
She's accused of beating somebody to death in the casino bathroom. That happened today in LA.
I don't like. I'm not going to be funny about that. That's horrible.
No, it's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
it felt like it fit in.
I mean, how the hell do I segue out of that? I'm not. I'm just gonna go back to the Jets fans real quick. Jesus,
yes.
Ray, that was. Thanks for that roadblock. No, seriously, this is what I don't get about Jets fans. It's the optimism. Okay, now, and again, I hope I don't I'm a pretty optimistic person, but when my football team sucks, they suck, and I boo them.
Yeah,
and I say that they suck. Ray, you're doing the same thing right now with the Giants, and rightly so because they suck. They suck.
Yeah.
All right. It's like Mets fans and Jets fans. Like, let's go effing Mets. No. Okay? You're subpar, just like my Phillies. They are underperforming. If they do not make the playoffs, they should be booed, and they should fire their head coach.
Yeah.
Because there's no excuses. Okay? The Jets fans, just all this optimism. It's just like, you're the Jets. Like, I mean, where is it coming from? Where is this optimism coming from? And like, you can tell me. I'd rather be optimistic than be like that. That's fine. That's your right. You can go root for the Jets and the Mets. Yeah. Okay? And I will boo my teams because that's who we are. Yeah. All right? Anyway, moving on. Speaking of booing players, I'm trying to wrap my head around this
people who should be booed. Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing because it's like the coach in me, the GM in me, the fan in me. It's all very conflicting, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, obviously, every sports fan in the world was like, called he was going to the Patriots. It wasn't going to be that hard to figure that was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what happens when these things happen. Randy Moss, I mean, everybody. But I'm flabbergasted by this that. I'm seeing a lot of posts today about the guy complained, and he got released, and then he went to the best team, one of the best teams, well, the best team in football history probably, right?
Right.
And it's just like, so he got what he wanted, And like part of me is like, oh man, it's not a good example for kids because it just shows if you complain, you get what you want. Then there's a part of me too that's like, okay, he really felt like he wasn't getting what he was worth, and like he's just fighting for himself, and it's just horrible. Like the whole thing to me is just like, what are we doing here? And here's the thing: people are like, oh, I hope he destroys the Patriots. He's not going to destroy the Patriots. He's going to be awesome. No. He's going to be awesome.
Nothing has destroyed the Patriots. This is the same. Yeah. This is exactly what happened with Randy Moss. Remember when Randy Moss was with the Raiders, hated being there, whined, complained, they cut him. Everyone thought his career was over. Belichick signs him to a 1-year deal.
2 Super Bowl
him and Brady
two
set
Super
a record.
Bowls. Yeah.
Him and Brady set a record for that year in touchdowns and touchdowns to receiver combination.
So
now, of course, they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, but
they did. Yeah,
that's not going to happen this year.
Did they make 2 Super Bowls together? Or was it just the one? I thought
just the one.
Wait, still,
just the one. Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl.
Well, it might have been deserved, but anyway, look, this is why he's not going to rip apart the Pats. Number one, if he has a problem on the Patriots, Belichick will be over. And the players will reject him because no one's going to mess with that team, okay?
Nope.
And I said Belichick over Brady on purpose, okay?
Yep.
Not to mention, just if Brady just stops throwing to him, that's it. All right? Yeah. Make no mistake how powerful Brady is in that locker room. Make no mistake how much of an architect Belichick is to that team. So he is going to conform. He's going to do what he's told, and he will keep his mouth shut. And I guarantee you will not hear from him again the rest of the season, okay? So don't hope he's going to destroy the team, okay? He's made that team better, okay? I'll say it. All right,
because he's still a talent. Look, there's no denying that Antonio Brown is still a talented wide receiver. Arguably,
he's one of the best. Yes,
yeah.
They just snagged the best receiver in the game, most likely. It's just
that
is what it is. Okay, I mean, not that we needed any more reasons to hate on the Pats, but like this was architected. Here's the thing that I didn't get today. There's a video now surfaced of Brown receiving the message that he's been released, right? And it's like it's produced.
Yeah.
Right. Which doesn't look good to me. I mean, like
no, it's come out. He had a whole social media team with him. Or whatever.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I get it. I get why he does that. Athletes that do that are actually kind of smart now because you can tell your own story now. Okay, like you don't let the press tell the story. It's just to me, it's just like I don't know. It's like what are we doing here? Like he's jumping up like a little kid, like he was in prison or something like that.
Yeah. Said something like I'm free at last or something like that. Something
you've
ridiculous.
Completely embarrassed Gruden now at this point. Now he's a great. He'll get past it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like you've embarrassed the Raiders. You've embarrassed Gruden. Like I'm taking fandom out of this year. It's just unprofessional to me the way all of this played out. Okay, I don't like the fact that it was aired out in the media. I do not like the fact that he recorded and shared a phone call with his head coach.
Yeah, that's illegal. By the way,
that is really messed up. That's really messed up to me. First off, if I was Gruden, if I was a coach in that situation, I would have cut him immediately after that. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like you can't be here. And again, that's what he wanted. Okay. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of talk all season about whether Belichick and the Pats were talking to him while this thing was going on ahead of time. And
if they weren't whispering in his ear that they were going to pick him up if he could just get out of the contract or whatever.
Or most likely, who's his agent? Drew Rosenhaus. Someone was speaking to him.
Surprise.
Yeah. Again, famous for these situations. Terrell Owens, everybody else.
Yeah.
So this was architected, and he forced his way out of a team. And I guarantee you, Belichick has already been on the phone with him and says, all that crap stops now. You ever do anything like that to me? I'm sorry, I should be doing this in Belichick voice. You ever do anything like that to me, I will kick you off this team so fast that your feet will be frozen forever. Okay, don't ever do that to me. Tom, anything? We ain't going nowhere. I'm still dancing because Gronk's not on the team. Boom, boom. Okay, anyway, watch Gronk kind of retirement now too to play with this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pats. Once again, I mean they're favorites for a Super Bowl now. I don't know how else to say.
Yeah.
It. I mean, they have every weapon possible. Yeah. Like you said, if you're a Pats fan, this is awesome. We do have a few Pats fans listening to the show. Hey, look, good to you guys. I mean, they played this well. I'm not gonna knock the gamesmanship here. That was well done.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. It's well done. For the rest of the league, it's like, I just that's not what I want to see in football. I just don't want to see that stuff. It's not interesting to me. I follow it because we have to. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see the betrayal to a team like that. and I'll say this too. I don't like to see teams betray players either. It's not a one-way road. Okay, it's just
yeah. I mean,
this
but
was
it's bad
a circus.
It's bad for the sport in general. It's a bad look for the sport. Like you said before, Lee, it sends the wrong message. It also it also hurts the parity in the NFL. I mean, yes, it's good for Pats fans, but it's not good. It's not good for the sport in general when it's the same few teams every year. We talk about this with basketball all the time. Like, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts the marketability of the sport, especially in smaller franchises, smaller cities, smaller markets.
Yeah, well, and Jets fans, I'm sure you're optimistic about this. So let us know what you think about the Pats getting the best receiver in the league. You're going to have to see them a few more times this year. Bills fans, I'm sorry. That sucks. Miami?
Miami's going to go 0-16. Miami might.
Well, hey, look, they went undefeated once before. Yeah, now they're just going to go defeated.
Yes, yeah.
If any team's going to do it, it should be them.
They say they're not tanking the season, but when you trade away all your best players for picks, you're tanking the season. Yeah,
it's going to be tough to be a Dolphins fan for the last forever now.
Since Marino retired. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, what year are we talking? Mid like early 90s, right?
I would say even the late 90s. There was a couple years after Marino where there was a shell of a team that got them to the wild card rounds of the playoffs, but it's been tough. 20 years, I'd say, since the Dolphins have been really good.
So make sure you weigh in on your football team. Let us know who you listen to. Let us know who you like. If you listen to the podcast, you can message us. You can just put it on our Facebook page or Twitter page or whatever you're finding us, the group page. Just let us know, because we know we get a lot. We have a lot of football fans, and we want this to be more than just a two-way conversation. We love interacting with you. So if you're listening to this, let us know. What's your team? Why do you like them? What do you agree, disagree with anything we said? Do you want to see Ray blow his gasket every week like that? I mean, it's not really an option for you listening. That's going to happen. I'm going to make sure it does. Yeah, we have lots of snacks in this house, Ray. I can't wait. I'm going to get fruit roll-ups. I'm going to get all of them. If you want to see the Giants win, go play Madden. Now, listen, the last time I ragged you like this, you did turn your season around and win the Super Bowl. But that's not going to happen this year.
No, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen. We don't have the talent on defense.
You will return.
That defense had talent on it. This defense doesn't have any talent on it.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of rookies and nobodies.
The Giants will return to glory one day. They always do. Okay, they always.
Yeah,
do.
But it's gonna probably take 15 years or so.
Yeah, so
that's what he says. It feels.
I also want to make it known, about 24 days away from the NHL season starting, which is my favorite time of the year. I am a hockey guy above all sports, although I do love my football. But yeah, looking forward to that. So obviously we'll have a lot more hockey stuff coming up. Ray also did a really great review of NHL 20. You'll see some of those clips coming out over the next week or two, right, Ray? Just,
we're going to do a series. We're going to do a series of videos. We got an advanced copy of NHL 20. So we're going to be highlighting different sections of the game, some new stuff in each video, probably about 15 to 20 minutes each one, some of the gameplay, some of the new aspects of franchise. And then once online hits, we'll switch from the offline modes to the online modes because the servers aren't on right now. And then I will give my full scored review in what we've been calling a 4-minute offense. So
Well, really doing a great job getting those games, and obviously we spoke with William Ho of EA Sports and NHL 20, so it's been a fun little thing with that. But speaking of sports games, Ray, or is there anything else you want to talk about in sports real quick, or do you want to go for this, Ray?
I think that's a perfect transition into this week's mashup.
I'm ready. Speaking of that, look what I got here. I've not had a chance to open it yet. But when I was at PAX, I got we've talked about this on the show. I got a copy of Triple Play Baseball for the N64. Does have the EA logo on it, gigantic there, so this is around that time. Triple Play 2000 with Sammy Sosa, the year after I believe Mark McGwire was on the game, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Obvious to us.
The 98 home run race,
So there's a classic video game with an athlete. I think Sammy Sosa is a guy I'd like to have in a baseball game today.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm segueing for you. Let me toss you another ball. There you go, Ray.
Yeah, all right. I got a can of corn there. So our mashup this week is, what modern athlete do you want in an old school sports game? And then the vice versa, which is, what old athlete would you want in a modern sports game? So, of course, I think there's easy ones. Obviously, NHL 94 Gretzky would be great now.
And Jeremy Roenick in that game was unbelievable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl in now would be
easily
great. Jordan from NBA Jam, which came out in '93, would obviously. I mean, he's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. You're not gonna be able to argue with me about that. And then, I mean, in a triple play baseball, like a Mark McGwire or a Sammy Sosa from triple play.
A roided up Mark McGwire in today's WWE video game. Baseball game. Would be incredible.
Yes.
I should ask this. Is WWE in play here?
Sure, you could do like an old school.
Like, I literally just thought of that when we were talking.
Right? Like, or Ultimate Warrior.
I was going to say Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior is pretty good, and Bret Hart was pretty good in some of those games, too.
It's true, like the old school WWE Superstar games and stuff.
Yeah.
That's true. I would still go with the Hulkster, though, personally. I would pick the Hulkster. Or, was Andre the Giant featured in any of those?
He was in an NES game, I believe, early on. Like there was some guy. I remember he might have been a Game Boy game too. There were some guys in these games. Like $1 Million Man was really good in some of these games too.
That's true. $1 Million Man was actually really good. He was better in video games than he was in real life. I can't remember
what it was. There was a game on Sega I used to play all the time. And there was a lot of classics. It's like when The Undertaker was at the top of his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the Hart Foundation was in that. But anyway, I didn't mean to stray away. I just thought about that. But let me go into some of these. One of the ones, Bo Jackson's an obvious one for football.
Yeah.
You did bring that up before, but I would love to have Bo Jackson and Madden right now, and baseball games for that matter.
Yeah, you could put him in both.
That would have been pretty unbelievable. Obviously in basketball, you got the classics in Jordan versus Bird and Magic. And again, we've seen these things, and just to clarify this a little bit, we've seen some of these athletes come back in these games as kind of dream teams or alumni teams. I'm talking pure power from they were in the game. Yeah. Not a remake, they're in the game, right? Yeah. And then the rule we have for existing athletes that would be in past games, the rule is they have to actively be playing in their league right now. All right, and the thing is, this is not as easy as you think. So, for example, in the NHL, Connor McDavid, Patrick Kane, these are not guys you'd want in mid-'90s hockey games, all right?
Yeah.
Because they'd get killed.
Yeah. No,
for lack of a better word. Yeah.
I think for hockey, we can start with hockey if you want. I think for me, the person I take is Ovechkin.
Yeah, easily. That would be a fun one to put back in the 80s with his 900th goal this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The other big one's goaltenders. I'd love to have played with Lundqvist back in the day.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Henrik Lundqvist fan. Being a Flyers fan, that's very seldomly said. Yeah, I've always loved Henrik Lundqvist as a goaltender. Yeah. I think that's one that I'd love to see. Ovechkin, 100%. You got to say Crosby just because I'd like to see him. I think he would have been good at any time. I don't want to rip on Crosby, but yeah, it's an interesting thing because the game has changed. A lot of these guys don't work anymore. Dustin Byfuglien would have been a monster at some of these games. Again, for those of you who don't, go ahead, Google Byfuglien and figure out how to spell that. It starts B-Y. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
That's how Byfuglien starts. But I was thinking about Byfuglien. Yeah, that's how you spell it, by the way. Byfuglien. I think it's Byfugglien or something like that.
I believe that's how you spell it as well.
Yeah. Well, bonus points for me. In baseball, I gotta say Harper right now. That's the obvious one. I'd love to see him in the past.
I would disagree. Yeah. I would say Trout. For
both of them though, right? I'm not. You don't have to pick one. And then pitching wise, there's a few guys. I'd love to see Nolan Ryan in a modern baseball game.
True.
That would be unbelievable. Right.
Yeah, and then going back I would say Verlander right now, Justin Verlander.
Right. Well, you have to say it's just that would be the game, Nolan versus Verlander baseball.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, we can't go back to Mantles and Ruths and classic players because there were no video games back then. Here's one outside the box for you. I was thinking about this. I would like to see Conor McGregor in a fighting game. I was thinking Conor McGregor's Punch Out. I know he doesn't box more than once. But
maybe more like Street Fighter.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Can you imagine Conor McGregor doing his little dance before his Street Fighter? I'm gonna f you. I can't say it. I can't curse on this show. Can you imagine him talking trash? Come on, Blanca. That would be cool.
Hey man, Street Fighter 3. They had a lot of characters in there. I think he would have fit right in.
Who's the Balrog? You fighting Balrog or what's the guy? The boxer's name?
Oh, he was basically Tyson. He was Balrog, but he was a spoof on Tyson. Yeah,
that would be great. Or Floyd Mayweather's Punch Out, And then instead of like fighting, you have to do money negotiations, and you actually never get to fight him in the game until you're old and retired. Manny Pacquiao. There's a lot of boxers.
And in Manny Pacquiao's Punch Out, you actually in your off season like go to the Philippines and like are a politician.
Yeah. That's instead of Little Mac jogging across the Hudson, you go to the Philippines and you politic. All right, that would be great. I forgot a huge sport here, right? Or no, we talked about basketball a little bit.
I mean, basketball. Like, LeBron would be the obvious
you have
choice,
to.
Right?
Curry
like
would be amazing.
It'd be LeBron versus Curry, right? Like that's your classic.
No, wait. When did 3 points come into the league?
3-pointers have been in the league since before we were born.
No, they have been, right? Like I said, because like I said, like that. Well, here's the thing: 3-pointers were not as big in the mid '80s as they are today.
No, that's very true. It was a different game back then.
So I'm saying that would be nuts.
More like your Oakleys and your Ewings and guys like that into the late 80s, early 90s. Like so that's why actually LeBron would do better than Curry probably would in that era.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking NBA Jam, just from downtown. I mean, it would just be every time he has the ball from downtown.
Threes all day, yeah.
No, I would take it a step further. I would just shoot it under the opposing team's basket every time, like the full court shot. He makes it every time. He's on fire. Right? By the way, side note in sports, saw a really great, I don't usually talk about memes on the show. It wasn't really a meme. It was someone did a tweet. It was brilliant. And I actually put it on one of my hockey channels today that went viral. But the tweet was basically, America, we have stolen your NBA championship and your tennis title, and we'll give them back to you if you have the Stanley Cup. You can give us the Stanley Cup. And it was great only because of the responses, because all the Americans was like, keep it!
Yeah.
Keep them. It's been a long time since you've seen this cup. Keep the tennis. Yeah. Keep the basketball. It was funny just to see the hockey fans like, no Canada, no thanks. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I was just trying to think outside the box. Yeah, right? I was just trying to think outside the box with the boxing. I thought that was a good one. I mean, there's not really other sports. I mean, like tennis games.
Who in football would go back? Would it be Brady? Would that be the guy?
It has to be Brady, obviously. Like that's just the default because of what he's accomplished. I don't think you can
instead of Joe Montana football, it'd be Tom Brady football.
I mean, it should be Tom Brady football right now, technically. You know what I mean? So like no offense to John Madden, but I mean I don't care if you'll ever hate Tom Brady. The guy's a god in football. So I think Brady is 100%. I would have loved to see Maurice Jones-Drew. I know he's not playing right now, but I'm breaking the rules.
His heyday.
Yeah, I'm breaking the rules a little bit with him. I mean, I guess Darren Sproles would be the modern day equivalent of that. Like of a really small running back, but like he's not a big enough name in my opinion. Yeah, well, maybe he is. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
You think Sproles a Hall of Famer?
It depends how he keeps going. He's got a few more seasons left. I think he will one day.
I don't think he's got a few more seasons left, dude. He's 37. He's a running back. He's in his 16th season in the NFL. I'm surprised he's still going as is.
You say that, and then I realize how close to age I am with him, and now I'm not feeling so good anymore.
Yeah, I know that's true. We're basically as old as Darren Sproles, but
thanks, Ray.
You know,
was this your payback because of all the stuff I said about the Giants?
No, I'm honestly, like, look, when I think Hall of Famer, I don't think Darren Sproles. I don't think he has the numbers or the. I mean, he's got the longevity, but I don't think he's accrued enough numbers in that time.
Yeah. Well, listen, you would know better than me, but we'll see. I mean, it depends how much longer he plays. But let's just go back to this. So obviously, Brady's in there. Obviously, probably Roethlisberger. You know, I mean, it's tough to not give him that. All right. I mean, who's the other? I mean, the other great quarterbacks right now. I mean, like guys that have been playing. Not Fitzpatrick at all. Nope. Not at all. Great job today. Who else? I mean, I'd put Eli in. I'd put Eli in a game in the back.
Would you?
I mean,
I would. Like, much like Phillip Rivers, I'm kind of on the fence with him.
He's got 2 Super Bowls, man. Like I can't. I wouldn't put Eli today in the game, but you know.
Eli in his prime,
10 years ago, I would have done that. I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess like we're not talking on the defensive side of the ball enough, but like Urlacher's retired, obviously.
I mean, there's so few guys on the defensive side who are that disruptive. Maybe a Luke Kuechly out of Carolina.
Well, this is because of the rule changes in the game too. Like defensive players are not going to ever be rewarded like they were in the past, just because you can't touch the quarterback anymore.
Right.
But yeah, what about receivers? I mean, there's a few receivers in the game that probably deserve to be back there. I mean, as an Eagles fan, I'd love to see Deshaun Jackson, but like that's not the biggest name in the sports right now.
No, I mean, obviously Odell, Antonio Brown, those are the kind of the big names right now in the receiver game.
Not yet for Odell.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. That was just the most condescending I've ever heard in my life. No, but I mean, like football's all over the place with this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's Brady. Yeah. You gotta go with Brady, or what's his name out of Kansas City too.
Mahomes?
Yeah, Mahomes. He's a candidate right now for sure.
I think so. I think he's got to do it a couple more years, right? This is only his real second year, really his second year as a starter. If he puts up the numbers again this year that he did last year, he's got to be in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, and then obviously Rodgers too is in the conversation. We can't. I don't want to deny these guys. I mean, they're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, football's always a weird sport with football games. I mean, like what game we talk about? We talk about Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah,
because I would love Brady and Tecmo Bowl.
I was gonna say Tecmo Bowl or old school Madden or Joe Montana football in that regard. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the thing is that like how. Yeah, I mean, those were all very different games in the early '90s. But they're all good for different reasons, Yeah. So that's true too. Different players could fit into different old school games.
Yeah.
But
not always the ones you think, but crazy. Yeah, that was a fun one. So let us know, obviously. Either way, right? What past video game athlete would you like to see in the modern game? What modern athlete would you like to see in the past game? And make sure you let us know that because we're out of time, and you got to let us know now. So so you know, very soon Ray will be blowing up against the Giants again. Who you got next week? Who are you playing next week?
The Bills.
The Bills. So wow, that's going to be disappointing if you don't win that game.
Yeah, if we don't beat the Bills, I'm going to be so. Oh, it's going to be a classic, folks.
Man.
You're going to have to.
You thought it was bad this week.
Yeah. Oh, like it's one thing to lose to Dallas. Man. We weren't supposed to beat Dallas.
No.
We should beat the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Got to give you some hope.
I need some hope. I need something.
Yeah, look at your head right now.
Oh yeah, I got baseball season.
It's still baseball season. See, now the baseball season's tolerable. I can handle it now.
Yeah,
right? I don't hate this time of the year. It's getting cool outside.
3 weeks left.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, man. Hey, listen, good conversation. Thanks for listening once again. I'm gonna pass the puck over to Ray to close this out.
Yes, thank you everybody for listening. That does it for us this week here on episode 22 of Geeks Who Like Sports. Be sure to go to the website, geekswholikesports.com. Email us, geekswholikesports@gmail.com. We've had a few comments in recent weeks. We've been meaning to get to those, in terms of people either agreeing with our past discussions about Disney, favoring Disney or Sony. We might try and bring that up again next week. Of course, we are very much in the Disney camp. For that whole thing with the Spider-Man debacle. But we haven't seen the comments, of course. Everybody who's commenting on the Facebook page, we appreciate it. Also, go to our Twitter and Instagram, Geeks Who Like SP1. Those are the handles there. We've been posting more on both of those channels, so we definitely would love some interaction from you guys there. And thank you again for tuning in. Of course, you can listen to this everywhere podcasts are heard. And until next week, for Lee, I'm Ray. This has been Geeks Who Like Sports, episode number 22.
Cue the music.